My name is Morris Smith. I'm a Superior Court judge in Camden County. I'm temporarily assigned to the Appellate Division in Westmont, and I want to give a brief shout out to all of my friends and family in the Hall of Justice. I miss all of you guys. On behalf of the Honorable Deborah Silverman Katz, the Honorable Gwendolyn Blue, my co-chair, and my friends and colleagues on the Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement Committee, welcome to the 2021 Black History Month program. The Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement Vicinage Committee, as well as our entire statewide committee, has one mission. That's to eliminate bias and discrimination in our courts. That's a mission that was given to us decades ago by former Chief Justice Robert Willents. That mission continues today under our present Chief Justice, Stuart Rabner. As you listen to today's program and hear the different voices give their perspectives on Black History Month, I would ask each of you to reflect on your own personal history. Think about your great-great-grandparents and great-grandparents and so on. Their successes and failures, their triumphs and their tribulations. Think about the sacrifices that they made so that you could be here today enjoying the opportunities in today's America. Your ancestors and mine made these sacrifices knowing that they would not live to see the future that we live in today, but they had faith in our country and they had faith that we were going to make it. That concept is really what drives Black Americans during Black History Month. We honor our ancestors, we honor the sacrifices that they made, in many cases with their lives, to see that we would be here to enjoy the future as equal citizens in this America. We celebrate the opportunities that our ancestors helped create for us. You see, Black history is American history. In American history, that story cannot be told without Black history. Each February, and really throughout the year, we cry out to the rest of America, you are us and we are you. And no time like the present has really demonstrated that. 2020 brought us the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and countless others. And those deaths came at the hands of a justice system that many people now question, and which we are a part of. The pandemic brought health disparities into full view that we're working all hard, very hard together to try to rectify. As you hear the program today, think about what you can do to honor your ancestors, their sacrifice, their hard work that brought you here this far. What can you do to make the future better for the next generation? Enjoy the program.
What Black history means to me, it is a special time of the year set aside and designated to focus on the accomplishments of Blacks, a time where Black history is recognized, a history which our society and educational system deliberately wanted to erase. Black History Month is a sign of America's reluctant public acknowledgement of its racist past. Why? Because a month had to be designated to focus on the history of Blacks whom it promoted to be inferior and good for nothing. So for at least 28 days a year, America tolerates recognition of its Black history, a history of positive progress made in spite of all the barriers, outright opposition, and immoral laws.
Hello, my name is Dr. Lavelle Pugh-Bassett, and I am the Executive County Superintendent of Schools for Camden County. I'd like to share with you what Black History Month means to me. Black History Month provides for me a targeted opportunity to acknowledge, celebrate, and ponder upon the contributions of African-descended people in America. Now, I know that many of you may say Black history should be celebrated every day, not just in February. And listen, if that's your position, I could not agree with you anymore. However, when I reflect on the plight of Dr. Carter G. Woodson in just trying to get what was then called Negro History Week, I am in awe that we have an opportunity steeped in the national fabric dedicated to the celebration of Africans in America for a full month. Imagine now what we have the potential to do beyond the month in making sure that every day is a history-making day for each of us. Imagine that we looked at Dr. Woodson as a history maker that has given us a foundation of a week, subsequently extended to a month, as an opportunity to do something bigger, something greater. To me, Black History Month is that opportunity. I encourage you to find the nugget of history that motivates you to be greater. Learn something that will enhance your passion so that you can leave your own historical footprint 365 days a year. This applies to all people, not just people of color. Use Black History Month as a springboard. It's just the beginning of your history making, of our history making. And that is what Black History Month means to me.
Hi, I'm Jackie Williams, talking today about what Black History Month means to me. Paying homage to my ancestors, my grandfather, a World War I vet, his wife, the community midwife. He sacrificed a lot for his family because he wanted to vote, and he did vote. Because he voted, he lost his lands. His sons were chased out of Mississippi to keep the Klan from getting to them. So that was a huge sacrifice, losing everything that he used to take care of his 12 children. Individually and collectively, the celebration of Black history means not letting others write our histories. They say that history is written by the victors. Many great sacrifices were made by so many families just to ensure the future of their generations would survive, to tell rich stories of accomplishments and great acts and successes, no matter how hard those great works were ignored or they were diminished or they were shut out. That rich history, those amazing tales of bravery and survival, the good and the bad are being told, the love and the pride being shared with family and with the world. I heard Chris Rock say, "What's the ask?" individually and collectively. For me, the ask continues to be equal access of opportunities for the future generations, for our children to have a great stake in their futures, equal access to education, to home ownership, to capital to start their own businesses, equal access of protections under the law, the knowledge that they are true legacies of a strong people who continue to survive no matter the hardships, who earn their place and their input at the great table of access and equality. So when I think about Black history, that's what I mean. The fight to carry on, no matter what, to pick up and keep going, to keep going forward. Thank you.
What does Black history mean to me? I have not given much thought to this critical question. However, I want to reflect back to my young childhood when I asked my mother why there was a large picture of John F. Kennedy in the middle of our living room on the wall and no pictures of Hispanic or African American people, since they were the folks who I could relate to. I do not fully recall my mother's response. However, I am certain that in her mind, this is one person who she felt made a difference in the lives of people. So when I think of this question, I reflect forward and realize for me personally, Black history serves as a time of remembrance and a time of celebration for those African American heroes who are often forgotten, for the great contributions, risk, and sacrifices they made to reshape this country. Today, I am who I am because of many African American individuals in my community who impacted me in a very positive and inspiring way, starting with my 4th grade teacher, who I will always remember. Thank you, Ms. Black.
For me, Black History Month is a time to reflect, increase awareness, educate, re-educate, and celebrate our diversity as one community. It's a time to reflect on the progress we've made against injustice and discrimination, and also to recognize that much more work is needed in these areas.
Black History Month to me is a focus on something that I celebrate all year long. It's a celebration of flavorful foods, foods so intoxicating that if I close my eyes, I can taste the intermingling of flavors strong on my tongue. They envelop my thoughts and trickle down into my soul. It's songs, songs that touch the soul, invoke emotion, and captivate the world. It is culture, a culture that is not only rich, but strong enough to span many generations, leaving an unforgettable mark. It's family, family that loves together, cries together, laughs together, hurts together, and of course, rejoices together. It's community, a community that is imperfect indeed, albeit perfect, resilient, and full of dignity and pride because we know what imperfection looks like. It is love, a love so fierce that we are not afraid to speak our truth. When I think about what this month means to me personally, I must focus on the fact that I am a living representation of what my ancestors imagined. And it is my hope, my dream, my desire that I am indeed exactly that. And now I would like to present to you Judge Gwendolyn Blue, who will provide our closing remarks. Judge Blue is our first and only African American female judge to sit on the bench here in Camden. Thank you.
Thank you for attending this year's celebration of Black History Month. In closing, I would like to say thank you to everyone that helped put this program together, and I would especially like to thank those who participated. Finally, I would like to thank our assignment judge, the Honorable Deborah Silverman Katz, for her incessant support and making sure programs such as this continue to happen in the Camden Vicinage. History is a vital part of our country. It allows us to observe and understand how people and societies have behaved. It provides the data to create laws. I am always intrigued with history. This is a celebration of Black history. When I think about Black history, I think of the songwriter that wrote, "This is my story, this is my song." In telling the story of Black history, I think of the following words: brilliance, resilience, awareness, selflessness, inclusiveness, creativity, and inspiration. I think of these words based on the history of all the people that have helped pave the way for me to become the first African American female Superior Court judge to serve the community of Camden County. I am also reminded of some of the words in the poem titled "Still I Rise, Still I Rise," that was written by the late Dr. Maya Angelou when she stated, "Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise." Those words forces me to recognize the words of Arthur Ashe, a great tennis player who often stated, "Racism is not an excuse to not do the best you can." That leads me to the words of Quincy Jones, an American record producer, that stated, "Greatness occurs when your children loves you, when your critics respect you, and when you have a peace of mind." Respect. What a powerful word. It makes me think of the song, "Lift Every Voice and Sing." That song started as a poem. It was written to celebrate the victory and liberty of African American people. It became a song that is an important part of African American culture and history. For decades, it has been sung in Black communities at school plays, award programs, graduations, and church services. In fact, at one of our Black History Month programs, which was held at the Camden County Courthouse, the late Mr. Morris L. Smith, who was a scientist, was present. He recently passed and is the father of the Honorable Morris G. Smith. At that time, Mrs. Smith was age 85. As the choir sang Lift Every Voice and Sing, I saw that Mr. Smith was unsettled as Judge Smith sat next to him. I recognized that Judge Smith was clearly being chastised. I knew why, because I too sat there with uneasiness, looking to the elder Mr. Smith to speak out on behalf of all who knew that we were supposed to be standing during that song. In open court, Mr. Smith spoke out and educated everyone regarding the significance of that song. After that educational moment, at the request of the assignment judge, the choir again sang Lift Every Voice and Sing, while everyone stood in respect for that song. It was truly a learning moment for everyone. Because Mr. Smith knew the history of that song, he demonstrated exactly what Black History Month meant to him. In honor of Black History Month, as well as the teaching of the late Mr. Smith, I will request everyone to please stand as the choir performs Lift Every Voice and Sing. Thank you.
Let